Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy again. I'm back with another video, and yeah, looks like there seems to be a lot of fire and a lot of frustration and whatever kind of aggressive situation you can think about right now going on in the Street Fighter Duel community, and pretty much what is happening is surrounding the Akuma summoning. Okay, um, in the past, I've always talked about a tree pool rule. A few people who's watched my videos are probably familiar with that. I try to mention it often. In that, in every three pools, you're going to have a shot at actually pulling, like whatever you're trying to pull. It's worked for me so far with divination. However, I've only ever tried it once, a three pool rule, and but it's always worked for me in every other pool situations, be it the standard recruit, the choice recruits, the faction recruit, you can mention it. But now we have obviously the special summon, which is supposed to be another ways where you can actually pull 10 cards up to the number of times that you would like. And when I mentioned the initial video earlier on Akuma, I actually talked about having to go and actually perform the tree pool roll situation. In my in a future video, I was gonna do the pool. It's gonna be a live recording of my pool to actually see what the result is. And apparently, it looks like as if there is, it's not gonna, let's just put it this way, it's not gonna apply pretty much in this particular summon. Okay, because I've heard people actually complain and say that they've actually pulled all, and they've all verified that they went for multis, and they actually did not get a single excuse me, a single Akuma card. Like, that is just insane. That is wild. Like, imagine having all that hype built up, all that excitement, all that expectation in order to pull the character, and you end up pulling none. I think I've seen some who've actually mentioned that they've actually quit, and I've also heard, that it's pretty much been, you know, pushed by the complaints of the community, based on the Go My Gala Ken event, and so we were given this one, and in as much as we're not given like to go through gauge to actually acquire the character, we're actually given chances to increase to actually accrue the character, and it looks like that chance is actually be down to zero as well. So here's my take on this right now. Actually, what's even funny is I actually watched the video as well. I believe it was by Skyon, and he actually pulled all five, 10 pulls, summons, and he got nothing. Like, yo, when I saw that, I'm like, you know what? I actually have been saying it a lot on the chat that I'm probably gonna hold back on my pool for now, and I think for sure I am, because we need to find out if there's actually something wrong in that you can actually go five pulls, and of course it's all RNG, it's all random, but like I said before, there has been this established and consistent rule with the pulls in the previous options. Now here's what I want to look at, obviously, right? If we go to the regular draws, right, let's look at the standard recruit. Your chance of pulling an A grade fighter is 0.35, and yet the three pool rule works here, right? Okay, let's hold back. Faction recruit, well, it's worked for me. If it fails once, I'm definitely gonna let you guys know, because I know that it might still be considered a myth by a lot of people, but it's been 100% consistent for me so far. And whenever, if I even pull on the first attempt, I don't try the next three. I kind of pause, roll some games, and then start again. And the same goes if I pull on the second attempt, same, and so on. But pretty much I try to pull for three. I try to make sure that I have enough for three cards, three pulls, and then that's it, right? If we look at the faction recruit, your chances of A grade fighters go all the way to 0.92, right? Okay, fine. For choice recruits, you're even boosting your chances more, and it goes all the way to where are the A grade characters? Whoever you want to get for sure. It was actually listed here, 4.61. So now this is actually pretty huge. So this one this one actually should even be giving you more results, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, because it also says every other person has a higher rate as well, equal rate. It's almost equal, right? So it makes it a bit trickier, right, compared to, say, for example, the faction recruit that actually has, the others on higher grades. But the whole point is that you're supposed to still be at a disadvantage for the A grade characters, but with the triple rule, you still get it. Now let's jump to divination as well, right? Look at your draw chance as well. It's 2%. Every other thing is like a 0.07. Is there anything that is more? The other stuff. But bottom line, you're getting your 2%. And then of course the other stuff that come minus stuff, they're going to be like, higher and all that stuff. But even with divination, it's worked for me as well. The triple rule has worked for me as well. Now, I haven't done it so many times, like I said before. I will definitely be honest with you, and I'm going to call it out the moment I realize that the triple rule doesn't work for me for the first time. So we're going to scratch that for now. But now let's go to the special summon, okay? The one that is actually scaring me right now, because typically, like I said before, the reason why I actually haven't pulled was because I wanted to make sure that I had 60, be it from the event that's going to start tomorrow or from the daily pools, however we're going to recruit that special summon. And then I'm going to try and go for like a dupe, hopefully, but not back to back. I said I get the first one, I chill, right? But if you look at over here right now, what are your chances? 2%, just like in divination, right? The others are like 1%, and then of course the other higher rates. The only thing that is like, I can't really see what else is on there. Something tells me that this stuff might be broken, because the developers have actually, admitted before on other instances where they've sort of like realized that certain pools or whatever isn't going as they would like, or the company would have liked, so they've had to do some tweakings to make it more. But you're not going to see like the physical numbers or the physical proof, but you're going to notice it once you actually start to do this pools, right? So I'm a bit suspect right now, because first of all, this event hasn't started. The event itself, the nightmare event, is supposed to be tomorrow, so that might actually be a better time to pull it. So what I'm going to say is that if you guys haven't pulled yet, I would advise that you guys wait a bit. Let's see if it's just coincidence that people are actually struggling to pull, or if it's pretty much a case that the devs would realize and they're going to have to do some tweaks, and then you have a better chance of pulling, okay? But the reason why I'm actually saying that is because typically you want to have like a bit of a consistent, pull scenario where at least you're pulling, even if it's just one card, you get something, right? But the point where you can actually watch people pull 5, 10 cards, 10 summons and get nothing, yeah, that actually scared me. So that's what this particular video is on about today. It's pretty much my opinion on whether you should pull now or not. This has nothing to do with whether you should pull because the character is viable or not. I think the character is a great character. I'm looking forward to using him. Like I said before, a lot of people would say he's not, OP like Bison, which is probably true. If he had AOE, that could have made him, stronger or whatever. But I still think that, and I also hear I also believe that he can also hit from behind. So there's a bit of an advantage to his kit as well. But that being said, just want to wrap this up here and say, left to me, I think I'm going to hold back and I'm not going to pull for the character yet. I'm going to wait till I see more, comments from the devs, or I start to hear more favorable, pulls, and then it doesn't necessarily mean that I might be lucky, but I want to see if the triple rule would also establish itself in this particular special summon. That's it from me today, guys. I totally appreciate your time today. Make sure you leave a like and a subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.